What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be going over the good, the bad, and the ugly in terms of grading every single pick from rounds 2 and 3. I was, of course, at work. Gotta love it. I'm a server, and this is the busiest week of the entire year, so that's pretty unfortunate. I didn't get to react to it live with you guys, but I want to let you guys know my thoughts right here, right now, because the NFL draft is absolute batshit crazy. So if you guys are new, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I would love to have been doing the graphics for you guys during the day. I might be able to do it tomorrow, so you guys get actually full draft grades and everything, making it look all nice and pretty. But for now, this is going to be the format. So again, show some love. Again, this is not exactly my preferred format, but we're going to go through each single pick, and I'm going to give it, actually I haven't even given the picks grades yet. So we're going to be doing this live on the fly for you guys. Starting off with the number 33 overall pick, it was Logan Hall. I'm giving this a C because, well, simply put, I think Travis Jones was a lot better than Logan Hall. These Houston defensive linemen are getting really overdrafted all of a sudden. I don't know who's paying people in the NFL out of Houston, because Logan Hall is a talented guy, but if you're seeing the gap between him and Perrion Winfrey is as large as the draft gap was, you're wrong. You're just simply wrong. Definitely was not worth the number 33 pick in my eyes. And again, I think there were a lot better dudes on the board. But speaking of a guy who should have been taken, the Packers did the right thing. They traded up and they selected Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. Big fan of that. Again, I think he was ranked in like 66 territory for me. But again, that as a wide receiver, he was one of the best left on the board. So I really do like it. It fits the scheme very well as well. I don't know what the hell these draft grades are with 87 overall. This is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm giving that an A. Roger McCreary is next to the Titans. I'm giving this one a solid D. You know, there's so many better targets on the board, but you guys are going to see that there's going to be some love that happens later on, because I predicted what the Titans were going to get just a round too early. So very happy about that. But this pick here, I mean, honestly, McCreary, we'll give it a C minus. Maybe we'll be polite. No, I'm gonna give it a D plus. I just don't really think he offers that much, man. And this was the big trade back, and you still had an opportunity to draft a lot of really talented players here, and you just didn't. You didn't. You could even gotten George Pickens at this point. You know, Treylon Burks, George Pickens would be pretty nasty, but you got Roger McCreary, who is undersized, has alligator arms. Just don't really understand that. I really don't. Breece Hall was next. This one caught me off guard big time. You know, Breece Hall on the squad doesn't make very much sense to me. You know, I think that, I mean, he's Matt Miller's comp is Alvin Kamara. Holy shit. That is a big praise. Like, I like Breece Hall. He was number 37 or number 36 on my big board, and I thought I was really high on him. So apparently he's number 30 overall. A really talented running back. But I thought that maybe a different back in the later rounds was going to be a little bit more of a fit, like Dameon Pierce. Everybody was shitting on me for running back for the Jets. I mean, at least I didn't take it here. And I really think that kind of shows that they don't exactly trust Michael Carter be an RBVC back, because Breece Hall is a 3-down. I really do think he can take every single snap. So I'm going to give that one a B, just because, again, I love the player, just maybe not the fit. Jalen Pitre, I'm going to give this an A+. Or maybe we'll be polite. We'll give an A. I really want to give an A+ though. We're going to give an A+. I have Jalen Pitre as an 80, like 82.5, 83 overall grade, which is ridiculous. It does not correspond with the scale at all. You know, I thought that he, on a pure grading scale, not factoring in that he's pretty much a slot corner, was graded out as a top 5, top 10 player in the class. Just a really talented dude. I think that Tyrann Mathieu is a pretty good comp for him, and he says he kind of builds around Tyrann Mathieu. So I'm going to give that an A. I'm going to try to be a little bit more reserved with the A+. Arnold Ebiketie was next. I think this was a trade up by the Falcons. Big shocker to me, because I had Arnold Ebiketie very high, but I don't exactly think that this is the long-term, like this is like a guy you're developing long-term for the Falcons. This is a guy who can make an impact right now. And for me, I was looking at how they were doing this draft, and I was like, you know what? You built for the future. Next year, your guys are going to come in, and you have now Bryce Young. Who the hell Bryce Hall? I was thinking Breece Hall. Bryce Young, and you're going to end up having like a crazy young roster with a lot of talent. He's still amazing. I have him again, 23 on my big board. I love Arnold Ebiketie. Still going to give it an A-, but I just like, I don't exactly think it fits the way that I thought it would. Kyler Gordon is next. I think the Bears definitely did need to continue boosting that corner core. So I'm going to give this one a solid B+. I really did think that a wide receiver one was a little bit more of an issue for them, but again, there's some really good receivers still on the board. Kyler Gordon is far from a scrub as well. I do like him. I just think there was a little bit more value probably placed on George Pickens. Boye Mafe and Kenny Walker next. I'll talk about them in conjunction. I think Boye Mafe is an A grade for this team. Again, you are building for the future, but at the same time, it's like it just fits so well. Really does. I do love that they at least tried to go after someone who has a crazy upside. Kenny Walker, I'm going to give that one a solid B-. I don't think it maximized the pick value very well. Just can't. I mean, I know a lot of people like Kenneth Walker, but I mean, again, you're just continuing. Damn, what's up with these huge comps? Like, these are crazy high comps, but I just don't exactly think that's the best value for the pick. You're missing out on linebacker. You're missing out. I mean, you could be missing out potentially on receiver in the future. I don't even know, but there are guys that were, I think, better value right there. Again, if they really are hoping for Kenny to become their RB1, then in time, this might be worth it. But I just really wasn't a huge fan of that pick overall, especially when you have someone like Andrew Booth on the board, fell because of injury concerns. And you know what? I said the Vikings were going to grab him at 34, ended up moving back up and drafting him at 42. Actually, they moved back to draft him at 42. Big fan of that pick right there. I like that quite a bit. I'm going to give that one a solid A+, because again, even though there's injury concerns, you're still taking a shot on a very high ceiling player. I think that's great for the team. This pick's going to give a solid D. Ondale Robinson, you know, you're getting a worse version of Kadarius Toney to replace Kadarius Toney. Like, you didn't even wait till the next round for like Calvin Austin or something. Really not a big fan of this one. Definitely giving it that D grade because, again, he's still a talented player and could even play some running back reps for you. But, dude, that's pretty bad. After all the great picks that you've had, that was a pretty bad one. John Mechie is a super high floor player. It's going to work really well with Davis Mills. And I do think wide receiver was something they could address. So I'm going to give this pick a B+. Again, I think there's some really good players on the board that I would have preferred. You know, you still had David Ojabo on the board where you could take a high ceiling player. I mean, they've already gone after actually a corner, but like you could even go after, again, George Pickens on the board. I can't really make up that much. So again, I still think it's a very solid pick overall. I think there were some better wide receivers, but John Mechie is going to be a really solid contributor day in and day out. You're not asking him to be a wide receiver one, and that is exactly the role that he needs to be in. So good for you, B+ right there. David Ojabo, A+ right there. Again, perfect scheme fit. Obviously, you're talking about the Michigan defensive coordinator picking up his guy from Michigan. Totally worth it. Big A+ move right there. Josh Pascal to the Lions. I'm going to give this one a solid C+. I love Josh Pascal, and I think he's going to be a great edge rusher. I think he actually works better on the interior, but you have all these guys that are on your roster now. You drafted 2 interior defensive linemen, Lee McNeil, and I think Levi Onwuzurike last year. It's like, you're pretty much saying like, hey, screw you guys. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm really not. So I love Josh Pascal, but just the fit doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know how many more edge rushers you need to get. You know, you still had a solid safety on the board. Where is he? Jaquan Brisker. You know, that really didn't make sense to me. Phidarian Mathis was this pick. That's going to be a solid D-. I might even put the F grade on this one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give the F grade. Dude, if you want to go after a guy at 310 plus pounds, go after freaking Travis Jones, man. He's going to be a super high floor player, but you don't even need him this year. You just declined the 5th-year option on one of your interior defensive linemen that I'm bugging out on right now. But it makes no sense. This is going to be an F grade. Phidarian Mathis. Like, I don't get it. Jaquan Brisker is next. I love this pick. Again, you can actually use him in some linebacker roles as well. I know the safety core for the Bears will eventually need some help anyways. So I'm glad that they're trying to revamp their secondary and they're not playing win right now. And I really do appreciate that. Jaquan Brisker is a great talent, definitely deserving of that pick. I'm going to give it a solid A-. I do think, again, you're missing out on offensive line. You're missing out on wide receiver George Pickens. So I'm going to give it an A- because I do love the pick. I just have to be like, George Pickens is there. Alontae Taylor's next. I'm not a huge fan of Alontae Taylor. I'm not going to give this the F grade at all because I do think he fits very well. So I'm going to give this a solid C-. Again, I think it's a very good fit, and I think they would have been able to work in another round. I'm just not a huge fan of it right there. Tyquan Thornton. okay, I'm going to be honest. I forgot about this. Tyquan Thornton to the Patriots, guys. Again, I'll give credit to Marcus Whitman, that franchise guy, for this. He was saying, dude, if we saw Anthony Schwartz in the third, Tyquan should be in the second. I get that. He's a little bit of a stick and bones type of guy, but again, 4.2, 4.26, 4.23 speed. Regardless, really fast. 4.28, who cares? 4.2 speed at that frame, like at that size, definitely is worth taking a shot on. I don't exactly think Mac Jones is the quarterback that you want to maximize that potential, but I did like some of his routes. I never did a full in-depth deep dive on Tyquan Thornton, but some of the routes that I saw were absolutely pretty damn phenomenal. So him being selected in the second round, it's going to be a solid B minus, because again, you have guys like George Pickens that I think would have fit a lot better, but B minus because it was a good pick. Like when you really look at it without the context, like Tyquan Thornton giving at least some help to Mac Jones. And again, there is that upside because he's a pretty solid route runner. Cam Jurgens is next. Again, I think next year's class is going to be pretty loaded at center. I don't really know what the need was for this, guys. I'm going to give it a solid C+. I like Cam Jurgens. That's why I'm giving it a C+. And I know it will become a need, but next year there's going to be a lot of guys who would have been drafted above Cam Jurgens at this point. But, again, you're investing in the long run. He's a hyper athletic center, and he's definitely somebody who fits exactly what you're looking for. A little bit disappointing, but when we look at the third round, I think we can forgive Cam Jurgens going right here. The fact that is ridiculous. I said he was going to go in the second round. Most of these guys who I predicted going second round did. So pretty accurate there, but again, not really with the teams they went to. Steelers went George Pickens, dude. That is insane. Like I saw that pop up and I was like, oh my God, doesn't that feel like a Steelers X wide receiver? Like him, he fits perfectly into the mold. He makes the wide receiver core fully well-rounded. I love this pick. I'm actually going to give it an A+, man. It was not something that I ever thought was in the range of feasibility for the Steelers, but hell, I freaking love it. If George Pickens were the first round pick and this were Kenny Pickett, I would give both picks an A. This is an A+. I love George Pickens on the squad. He actually graded out as a ground 3 dude, but again, I gave him an extra round boost because I understand he's obviously not 100% healthy and showed one hell of a motor coming in and being able to work his ass off like that. Alec Pierce. I actually haven't seen this. Colts picked up Alec Pierce. That's amazing. Number 24 on my board. Loved Alec Pierce, and this is a huge position of need. I'm giving this a solid A+, man. Great move by the Colts, and I think they traded back. Like A+ move by the Colts. Great job, and I know what their third round pick is. Colts are going to get some love from me today. Sky Moore is next. I think this is another A+ move. Great value, great fit. Huge fan of that. Trey McBride was the pick here for the Cards. Did not really expect it with Zach Ertz. And, you're drafting a backup tight end in the second round when there's some good edge rushers on the board. I'm not going to be very polite about this. I'm going to give it a B. And people might be like, Alex, you're making it sound like it's going to be like a D. I still think he's a phenomenal player. And he was by far the best tight end in the class, in my opinion. Definitely worth the pick. It's just a little bit weird of a fit. And I think that by the end of his rookie contract, this pick might end up being an A. But in the meantime, like in the short term, it's a C. In the long run, it'll probably be an A. So I'm going to be polite and averaged out as a B. Sam Williams is next. I was saying this a long time. I was like, guys, this guy ran like a 4.41 or 4.46, some crazy shit like that at 260 pounds. Like this guy's ridiculous. We're talking about Travon Walker as like this crazy freak athlete. Obviously, he's more freaky than Sam, but Sam is still a crazy athlete. And I had that feeling. I had that feeling the Cowboys would be a team that would look at Sam Williams and be like, you're our guy. You're our guy. So Sam Williams out of Ole Miss. I do love that. Luke Gadecki. I'm pretty sure that Broshmo took Luke Gadecki for the Buccaneers when we did a back and forth. So very good job. Tip my cap to Broshmo. Luke Gadecki is honestly a solid fit. He's a mean blocker, man. I think that'd be a great fit there next to Shaq Mason, next to Ryan Jensen. Really do like that. It's a day one impact. I don't know if I gave Sam Williams a grade. Sam Williams, I'm going to give him an A-. I do think there were some really good edges there in the third round as well. Did not think that the need was immediate, but A- because still great. Luke Gadecki, I'm going to give that one a B+. I didn't really think he was worth the pick, but at the same time, if you're going to be selecting him, he's a great fit. Troy Anderson, I'm so happy about this. So they I guess they're not really building for the future. They're not looking for guys who are going to be young on their second contracts, but I love this pick. I'm going to give it a solid A grade. I know a lot of people aren't going to be a huge fan of this, but he comped physically to Ryan Shazier. He's going to be a commander of that defense. You lost out on Foye. I love this pick, guys. I really do. And it's a freebie pick from Tennessee. It is. So you just enjoy it. You have a really good commander of your defense now. Big A+ move from you guys. Ed Ingram is next. So the guard spot's a little bit weird, and I really liked Ed Ingram. That's the thing. So I'm going to give this probably a C+ because I just think the value is not very good. But I really liked Ed Ingram. There's a chance that he could end up making me look stupid for giving me a C+ here. So definitely intriguing. Cam Taylor-Britt. I called it, guys. I told you Cam Taylor-Britt was a great fit for the Bengals in round 2. And you know what? He was selected here. I think they traded up with the – did they trade up with the Bills or something? I think they traded up with the Bills. The Bills actually think traded back twice. It's confusing. Regardless, going Cam Taylor-Britt's great. I'm going to give that a solid A-. I'm not that high, on Cam Taylor-Britt, but I think he fits perfectly. I don't like the fact they call him the safety, though. It's 2 DBs back-to-back. I'm giving an A- solely also because Travis Jones was here, and I'm not going to get off the ass of teams against Travis Jones. Drake Jackson is next. I'm actually going to give this pick a solid A grade. I really do like it. This is a great system for developing talent, and this guy has a crazy high ceiling, and he's young. So, huge fan of this pick. Great job to RJ and this pick overall. Brian Cook is next. I'm giving this pick a solid F. I really just don't get it. I don't. Like, safety at this point is not your necessity, especially when you have other really talented dudes on the board. Brian Cook is the last guy that you should be looking for. Again, like, you could have went Travis Jones. You guys could have went after somebody. I don't know who else was on the board at the moment, but like, there's just better picks than Brian Cook. A lot better. James Cook was next, and this was a much better pick, but not very much. I'm going to give this one a solid C-. I don't really think he's too much of a role player. And again, I said that running back was the position to target for the Bills. I guess they really liked him. I'm not really a huge fan. I don't really see him as a good contributor like every single game. Nick Bonito is next. I'm happy to see, like, I was saying he was going to fall just because I thought that he was more scheme specific. They're taking a shot on him developing, and I'm very happy about that. I'm going to give this pick a solid B+. Like, really good player. Still think that linebacker could have been a position to target. Let's go into round 3. It's been a while since I've looked at this. Luke Fortner out of Kentucky is the first pick of the 3rd round. I'm going to give this one a solid B- because I think that's a huge position of need, and Luke Fortner is a very good day 1 prospect. Brian Asamoah is next. You guys know I had him top number 25 on my big board, and this is a great position for him. I'm giving this an A+. Joshua Ezeudu, or is it Zudu? I think it's a Zudu or Ezeudu. We'll get it in time. I'm going to give this one a solid C+. I've heard a lot about him. A lot of people really liked the UNC offensive lineman. So not surprised, but not a very big fan. Martin Emerson going to the Browns. I'm going to give it a solid B. Like, I'll give it a B. You know, again, Travis Jones on the board. I think he would have been able to maximize this team's potential, but I also don't really know where Martin Emerson is going to play. I just love him. I just love him in general. And I think he's better as a zone corner, so it's going to be a little bit weird seeing him in man. But he's press built. So very intrigued about that one. Martin Emerson, my round 2, he was my number 4 corner. So yeah, I really liked him. Nicholas Petit-Frere went at 69. Okay, guys, I'm just going to be straight up honest. I haven't exactly examined this round. So this is live reaction. I'm going to give it a solid A. I really like this pick. And a lot of people don't like Nicholas Petit-Frere, but man, I really do think that if you're able to reduce the Michigan games he had, this is an A+ pick. Like, really talented guy. Averaged out as a 2nd rounder for me. Excuse me. Chad Muma is next. And you guys did just take, you took Luke Fortner, you took Devin Lloyd, and like, Chad Muma is just BPA, man. You still could use some help in that linebacking core. Now you have a complete linebacking core as well. I really don't have that big of an issue with this. I'm going to give it a solid B+. I do think the value is phenomenal. I just think maybe a tight end would have been better value there. A wide receiver, obviously, better value there. Velus Jones, he's 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken, 25 years old. I'm going to give this one an F to the Bears. I know they're trying to get somebody who can just impact day one, but they're really just saying this guy's here for one contract and dipping. Abraham Lucas. Wow. I did not. Okay. So just straight up, I didn't know that the Seahawks now drafted 2 tackles. I think that's phenomenal. I'm going to give it an A. Really good value. I have him as my 69th overall player. And, obviously this is good range for him at that point. And you're investing in offensive line. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing. I think quarterback might have been a better move. So I'll keep it at an A, but just know I'm leaning towards A-. Jelani Woods. I think this is an A move as well. I really do. I'm holding the A+ for the crazy picks, but I think I predicted this one, if I'm not mistaken, with the Colts 7-rounder. Desmond Ridder. I love it. I love it. Obviously, I've been saying Desmond Ridder should be a Falcon for a long time, and he slips to the 3rd. This is an A+ move. You're taking a shot on a high floor quarterback, and I'm very happy to see that. I actually have a day 3 grade on Desmond Ridder, but I understand that he has potential. So, excuse me again, it's really late here, so trying my best to hold it together. Christian Harris at this pick is a solid A as well. I wanted to say A+, but again, I'm trying to reserve that honor for the best picks. A great move overall. Huge fan of that pick. Travis Jones, there's the A+. Number 27 on my board. I loved him to death. Can be a huge difference maker. It was my dream fit for him right there. Being next to Michael Pierce is ridiculous. Bernard Ryman, A+. Yep. Wasn't even that big of a fan of Bernard Ryman. That's the thing. So I wonder how PFF feels about it, but huge steal. Like, the Colts did everything that I said they should do. Ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, we went Bernard Ryman, Jelani Woods, and we went after Alec Pierce in our mock draft. There's a good chance about that. I'll check on that. You guys can check it too, but that might be a big flex. Alex Wright. Wow. Yeah. I don't know about this one, guys. I'm going to give it a D+. I really think that's a huge reach for Alex Wright. And I was a pretty big fan of him compared to most of the community. That's crazy. That's crazy high. JT Woods, safety out of Baylor, to the Chargers. I like that pick, actually. I'm going to give it a B+. Really solid player, really good athlete as well. The Baylor safeties were phenomenal, or slot corner and safety were phenomenal. Dolchich, A+. Great fit, huge need. Cordell Flott. I'm going to give this one a D-. Like, I might even give it an F. How many slot cornerbacks do you need? Every year they get a new slot cornerback. It's like, last year there was a kid out of UCF that I'm bugging on his name, but then like the year before it was Darnay Holmes, and now it's Cordell Flott. Like, when is it going to stop? New York kicked ass in the 1st round. They've been kind of doing kind of shitty in these rounds. I'm going to be honest. So D-, if not an F. We'll go with D- to be polite, because Cordell Flott is a really solid slot corner. D'Angelo Malone, I'm also going to give this one probably in that like C- range. Good position to target. At the same time, I just don't think he's worth it. He's a super solid talent, but, I just don't really think he's worth it. I'm surprised he was 70th overall in the ranking. Nakobe Dean. So obviously there are issues with him health-wise that teams are scared shitless of. Obviously, I'm going to give this the best pick, arguably, of the draft. I'll just say I'm happy that Howie went after a linebacker. About damn time. But if you swap this in Cam Jurgens, I probably would have been a lot happier. Again, when you look at it in totality, getting all the players, they've been doing a phenomenal job this draft. DeMarvin Leal. So I was scared shitless about him being as an interior defensive lineman until I saw he was on the Steelers. It's the one place where he's going to work, man. If he goes interior, he's going to work. If he goes as an edge, he's going to work. This is a solid A+ move. It is. He's not ranked that highly, but man, this is the best possible fit. And it's a fit the Steelers need to address. Like, this is the future of the defensive line. I love it. And you can also save a lot of money on the defensive front. Big fan of that. Obviously, I would have loved for them just to say, hey, we'll just take Malik Willis and have a QB battle. Marcus Jones out of Houston to the Patriots. Love that for him. Big fan. I think I took it actually with a pick before the Patriots one time, because I said the Patriots would be very interested in Marcus Jones. I don't know. I can't remember right now, but I still think he's a very talented corner. He's going to probably play slot for them, but he's going to be a really good return man as well. 9 return touchdowns. I'm going to give this pick a solid A-. Maybe we'll be polite. We'll be like more. We'll not be as polite. we'll go B plus on this because he is like, I don't know how many more DBs that you can have that are not going to play on the boundary. A plus from Malik Willis out of Liberty right here. Said this should be the second round, the beginning of the second round pick. And you know what? He went to the Titans anyways. Big fan of that. Cam Thomas, love this pick, honestly. I'm giving this one another A, like really big fan of Cam Thomas to the Cardinals. Like his best capabilities will be maximized when he is pretty much going to be the understudy to JJ Watt. Jalen Tolbert, I think this is a phenomenal move. Like this is great value for a very high ceiling player. I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys a solid A minus here. Again, he's not like the most flashy player in the world, but he's good. He's going to add a very good piece to that receiving core. Terrell Bernard, that is a ballsy pick. I do like Terrell Bernard. That's the thing. I'm going to give this a solid C plus. I think that there's a lot better safeties or a lot better linebackers on the board, but as we can see, linebackers just for some reason don't go in the order that they should. Dylan Parham is next. I thought he was going to go a lot higher than this, but this is going to be a solid A move for the Raiders. I might go A plus, but we'll be polite. We'll go A. No, I keep saying that. We're going to be respectful to the plus. We're going to make it a little bit more rewarding. This is going to be an A. Rashad, oh man, the Bucks did it again. Son of a bitch. Rachaad White is a solid running back, but he ain't worth this. It's a solid F. Again, you're going to have amazing backs. Oh, no. We'll talk about it in a second. But this is an A-plus move. Sean Ryan, number 43, 42 on my board, and this is a perfect fit for him. I love this pick to death. Huge fan. Huge fan of this pick. Moment of silence. This is going to be another F. You know what? We're going to raise Rachaad White to a D minus just so this actually feels like an F. That's a big F. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Yeah, sorry, RJ, if you're watching this, but man, I was hyping you guys up. Not so much on Davis Price. I'm not a huge fan of that pick at all. I actually hate that pick. Matt Corral, I'm giving this an A plus. Dude, you're in the third round. You trade up and you're saying, screw it, dude. We're going to be going with our quarterback. I love that. A plus move. Big fan of that pick. Happy for Matt. He actually has a chance to compete for a starting job there. Zach Carter out of Florida. You can play him inside or out. I'm a big fan of this pick as well. I'm going to give it a solid A minus, maybe an A, but we'll go A minus. Again, don't want to be over happy with the picks. Nick Cross is an A plus, dude. The fucking Colts did it again. God bless the Colts. Kirby Joseph, they did it. I think I just crapped on them for not going to Jaquan Brisker, but I'm going to give this an A. I don't really think it's as great as Nick Cross, but I'm really big fan of it overall. Brian Robinson, they're taking L's. I'm going to give this one a D, just to be polite. I just don't really see. He is a pretty good compliment back. I'll give it a D plus because he's a good compliment back. But I mean, there's just not much you're adding to the roster right now. David Bell out of Purdue going at 99. I think I had him like 101 on my big board, so it's not bad. So I'm going to give this one a B plus. You know, he's slow, but he's a really damn good football player in general. Great with the ball in his hands. It's going to be a great weapon for Deshaun to use to just get the ball out quickly. And you know what? I really do think this will end up being a lot better than what people think. Myjai Sanders has been doing this in the second round quite a bit. I give this an A plus move, number 37 on my big board. Jeremy Ruckert, I think it's a very solid, very, very solid spot for him. So I'm going to give this one a B. I just don't like Jeremy Ruckert. We'll give it a B plus. I'm not a fan of Jeremy Ruckert, but I think this is a good spot for him to go. Channing Tindall, this is an A plus move, man. Really big fan of him on the Miami Dolphins. Leo Chanel, I don't know how many pluses I can put past him, but it's a lot of A pluses. Or it's an A with a lot of pluses. Big fan of that. Logan Bruss out of Wisconsin. Ooh. That's going to be another F, man. And Danny Gray to end it off. I'm going to give it a solid D minus. Really good separator, really good speed, but man, he has crap hands and he's never been able to make weight. His coach has gone on him, and you know, I knew that they brought him in, but never thought he would be a third round pick. So SMU guys, of course, ending off the third round per usual, back-to-back years. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. See you on the far side. Peace.